On this week's episode, we talk about the new documentary about Christopher Reeve, Super/Man.
As well as Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis.
Folie A Deux?
And other pop culture news from the week.
We just arrived. We just saw. We've been to a special screening of the new Todd Phillips movie, Joker, Folie A Deux, a sequel to the Eponymous. What?
Eponymous.
Sure.
Eponymous. No, it's not about a horse. Eponymous. It means like it's named like it. Like an eponymous
Maybe it is
album.
About a horse. I'm not gonna spoil.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's move on.
A sequel for the movie Joker, also directed by Todd Phillips with Joaquin Phoenix, among other people. So this one is a direct sequel, and we saw on IMAX. The movie has beautiful photography most of the time, and IMAX definitely amplify that. The movie starring Joaquin Phoenix, again on the role of Arthur Fleck, and this time he's companioned by, what's her name?
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Or is it Stephanie Giamatti?
Oh, she's a Falcon. Oh. Anyways, Lady Gaga, singer, now actress, and among all what's the name of the guy?
The Irish guy?
Yeah.
I can't remember, but it's this Irish guy that you'll recognize.
Yeah, Colin Farrell. No.
Nope.
Anyways, yeah, he was a Colin Farrell friend on that movie, right?
That's
they
right.
Suddenly were not friends.
Where he's like, I'm not friends anymore, so I'm going to cut off my fingers.
Grow
it's
up.
That guy. Yeah,
Yes.
Donald Gleason's dad, isn't it?
Huh?
Isn't he Donald Gleason's
dad? Oh, yeah,
dad?
it's a Gleason, that's right.
Yeah.
Something Gleason.
Yeah.
Anyways. He and Zazie Beetz is back for a short appearance. Catherine Kinnear, is that her name? Catherine Kinnear? Yeah, she's a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
And many other talented actors. And the movie followed the fallout, the consequences of what happened at the end of the last movie. If you remember, Arthur Fleck's character killed several people, including one on live TV, on the talk show, late night show, and so he was arrested, but at the same time celebrated by the crazy people of Gotham, New York, which makes super realistic because you have people there protesting pro-Hamas, so it's not out of this world to people to celebrate the Joker, and they do. So that's more or less how the first movie ends. In the movie, this new one starts with Arthur Fleck imprisoned at Arkham State Asylum.
And so the movie, it's basically centered around the trial. So preparing for the trial, his attorney is trying so hard to get him into like a proper hospital to really play the insanity card and all that. And she's like, man, she gives this guy the benefit of the doubt. Like, so she's a lot kinder, I think, than I would have been. Anyway, she's working so hard for him. So we see the prep for the trial itself. But through all this too, we see he begins this relationship with Lee, who we eventually find out is Harley Quinzel, and kind of the fallout from that. I don't really want to spoil anything. It was I thought not just beautifully photographed, but a really interesting story. And there were a lot of things that were kind of bugging me a little bit, but the way he resolves it and ties it all up, like I feel like it made everything make sense, in a really artistic way. So overall, it's definitely very dark. We're spending a lot of time with just like the darkest of humanity, and corruption and failed social systems and all the rest. But on the whole, I think it was a really good movie.
Which is stick to the themes that he explored in the first movie. That Arthur Fleck was in some ways, or even in many ways, a victim of society. In some ways, in a lot of that, I didn't agree or quite liked on the first one. But he stick to those themes throughout this. He skips a little bit from all that. Because now there's love in the air.
Yeah.
There's a character of Harley Quinzel, and it's very interesting because there's love, but also there's lie and manipulation, which is very, very, very from the relationship between Joker and Harley from the books. But in this one, they flip the narrative a little bit. Is interesting. Some might not like it. In some ways, I didn't like it. But the whole game that he plays on the first one, that this guy is a victim of society. This guy's a victim of society, and at the end he flips. So this is how the new movie starts, right? There's a whole city saying he's crazy, he's a psycho. There's a lawyer that he says no, he's sick, and there's this fight in between health, sanity, and the law, and Arthur Fleck, Joaquin Phoenix character is in the middle, and there comes love and manipulation, and I think at the very end it closes. The first movie was, the way I saw the first movie, I thought it was one shot. It ends in a way that it's ambiguous, because when they try to fit the character of the Joker, Arthur Fleck, in the Batman universe, we see Bruce Wayne as a kid. We see Thomas Wayne. We see what else? We see elements from the Batman universe. There, when Arthur Fleck is there, he is sort of like, he's too early, right? Because
like the timeline's way off, because Bruce is a little kid, but he's like, Arthur's already what, in his 40s plus?
Who knows?
Yeah.
But all that together, it doesn't fit. So the way I saw the first movie was like, this guy, it's not the Joker, but it's a Joker that inspired the Joker we're gonna know, we're gonna meet when Batman meets them. Right, and that's how I saw the first movie, and I thought it was one shot, but then for some reason, and I honestly don't know the main reason, besides, I mean, making money and telling a story. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but they made a second one, and on this second one, they sort of do similar ways what they did on the first one. They close the story in a way that it is final, but again, might come an executive from the studio and say, hey, but Lady Gaga is so good, let's make more.
Yeah, and that's always a possibility, but I feel like this one, even more than the first one, this one has quite a decisive ending, and it'd kind of be a shame if they tried to stretch it out more. One of the hallmarks, and the thing that I loved most, loved is a strong word for it, the thing that I appreciated the most, I guess, in the first one, was the ending especially makes you realize how ambiguous the whole film is. We don't really totally get what really happened versus what was just his perception, what was happening in his head versus reality. In this one, they still play with that, but it is quite a bit more clear, like reality versus his fantasy. But there are some moments where you're not 100% sure, and so you're kind of taken along on this folie with him and Harley. I think it's very clever filmmaking.
In this one, there's a lot more on that sense that it's a musical. There's a lot of music. Characters sing a lot. whistle or actually sing and dance. So, and those are clear that they are not quite reality, but in his head. But is the whistling real? You know, there's some there's a theme, there's a song that's been playing throughout the whole movie, and it's an old song. I don't know how old. Would that song be old in the 70s?
I would think so. When the Saints Go Marching In, I don't know exactly when it was written, but it's been around for ages. It's like everybody knows it.
But it plays in people's lips, people's whistles throughout the movie. In a way, there's like there might be like a crazy mind hearing that. So they use song, and they both sing really well. Lady Gaga, I think she's new singing, but she good start. And Joaquin Phoenix surprisingly does a good singing.
No, he did his own singing in Walk the Line.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I knew that, and I love that movie. And he sings.
And he followed up with some very compelling vocals.
Yeah.
And then this one.
What else can you see? Really well photographed. It's I wouldn't say is better than the first one, because sequels never are.
But I think it stands next to it. Holds its own next to the first one just fine.
But
it wasn't worse.
Yeah.
As they often are.
I mean, there's problems that they created on the first one, and this one they created different problems. So altogether, it stuck to what was established, but with some other problems. But overall, it's good. I think it laid heavy on the tragic romantic side, like almost pushing forward. It's like again, it could be on the crazy mind of the character.
Right.
But it's like I'm pushing for like this love so intense and so important for the character. If it's on the crazy mind of the character, sure, fine. If it's not, it feels like they like shipping this thing way too hard. But overall, I think it was fun. It was entertaining. I liked it. I recommend, especially if you saw the first one. I
would agree with all of that.
Nothing
it's
else?
Worth checking out. I think we've covered that one.
Folie A Deux is available on theaters. Actually, not. It's available this Friday. It's coming out this Friday. So if you want to check, if you like the first one, you're gonna like this one. Oh, you're gonna hate it. No, I don't think you would hate it.
No, I feel like it fits quite consistent with the first one.
Yeah.
But anyway, let us know what you think.
And
okay.
We also saw another DC Comics property, sort of. And I have my extreme problems with this, because James Gunn was bragging about it. Oh, the first DC movies, dude. And it's like, it's CNN, it's HBO, it's really good documentarians, and of course, really, really good children, because it's a love letter written by the descendants, by the children of the great Christopher Reeve. The movie is called Super/Man: The Story of Christopher Reeve. It's a story of his life, and told mostly by his sons and daughter, by his children. And I thought it was really, really beautiful.
It was.
It uses archive footage, obviously, interviews, and they have this Superman type of body, Christopher Reeve body, floating in space. And they use that to point different parts of the movie concerning when he gets into an accident and loses the ability to walk and feel. What's it called?
He's a quadriplegic.
So
everything from the neck down, he had no control over his body.
Yeah.
And there's so much that goes with that it's so much more than just like you can't move. I have a good friend who is paraplegic, and in fact, I think she's in as good a shape as she is now because of a lot of the work that was done by the Christopher Reeve Foundation. I don't know the details of the accident that put her in the chair, but like her body was similarly just like devastated by her accident. Anyway, but like she can't control her body temperature. Like there's so many other things that happen. Anyway, so yeah, that's a different tangent.
Yeah, and this one that tells the story. Pretty much everything, right? Like, it touches his childhood.
Yeah.
And his beginning as an actor, the friendship with the late great Robin Williams, that we know from stories that once he heard Christopher, and they called themselves brothers. And not only like we are brothers, they would call brother Christopher and brother Robin, which I thought was very interesting. He was one of the first to run to the hospital to talk to his friend, to his brother, and help him throughout the way. And there's even talking heads, some of all the Hollywood famous people,
Glenn Close, Susan
arguing that if Christopher was alive, maybe Robin would be alive too. But so they're very close. The love story between him and his two wives, I guess one ended prematurely, but then with Dana Reeves, that stuck with him to the worst, right? There was like what she says, "I'm still here," something like that, right?
Not just that she was still there, but she told him, "You're still you."
Yeah.
In the hospital, and that was one of several turning points.
Yeah. And tragic because he passed away in a sudden, even though
it was a sudden deterioration.
Yeah. There's even rumors and hoaxes about it, but it's not clear. The movie doesn't touch that. But he passed away. She went to the hospital, was with him at the last moments, and she stood up and took care of the foundation, kept working on that cause, and a year or so later, right? Not even that, she ended up falling for cancer.
Yeah, just out of the blue, this extremely healthy, active woman was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer.
Never smoked.
Yeah.
But then the children kept doing the work, and the work is the Christopher Reeve, and now Christopher and then the Reeves Foundation. They work to help people with any sort of paralysis. They have two aspects. They work hard through science and politics, looking for research and a cure, and they also work on the side on how they're going to take care of the people that have that and might not live to see the cure.
But improving their lives now.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, like just such a beautiful documentary. They didn't shy away from like the darker and rougher, dark is too strong a word, from the, I feel like they showed us as much of the whole man as you could without like violating like his privacy as a human being. They talked about his relationship struggles, the struggles with his family, and how he reached a point where he didn't really want to be Superman anymore. He wanted to do other things. His emotional and mental challenges after the accident. But in showing this and how sometimes he wasn't always like maybe the father that he wanted to be or the partner that he wanted to be, but I feel like in showing us that, it really helped us just appreciate how remarkable he was, and we got to see how he grew and evolved and became someone who was, I mean, man, it's so cliche. How he became Superman in so many ways. And anyway, I cried off and on through the whole thing. It's such a beautiful story, so powerful, and they did a great job of telling it. And especially I was so impressed with his kids and how they put that all together and managed to tell his story in a way that was like respectful and loving, but also very honest, and it's just really well done.
Yes.
Really well done.
Yeah. Super / Man, the story of the life of the story. I can't remember the name. The story of Christopher Reeve. It was a special screenings. They did one on his birthday, September 21st. What's it, 21st?
25th.
25th.
Yeah.
And they did one special one on September 21st. That was the only screenings I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's no screenings anywhere else, which I honestly didn't check, it might not be, but you should check your local theaters. If not, hopefully soon enough it'll be available on HBO Max, or even CNN, because those companies were the companies that produced the documentary.
Yeah.
And it's really good. Really good. We recommend if you're a fan of Christopher Reeve, if you're a fan of Superman, and you know the movies, how the movies are made in some aspects. But if you're a fan of this humanitarian cause that he was involved in, still going, and definitely needs everybody's support.
Yep. All right. Last but not least on our list of things we watched this past week was Francis Ford Coppola's great, culminating life achievement, Megalopolis.
I wouldn't put that on that much.
Yeah,
weight.
maybe not achievement, but like this is the one like he sold his vineyard to work on it. He's worked on the script for decades.
Yes, yeah.
It's self-funded. He had the idea like 40 years ago, and then he waited for like film technology to catch up to it. Like this is, whether or not you agree that it's his crowning achievement, it's definitely well, anyway.
Yes, from Coppola with Adam Driver, with
Aubrey Plaza, John Voight, Shia LaBeouf.
Who's the guy by John Voight? Dustin Hoffman.
That's right, Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito.
And
British black
woman.
girl.
Oh, dang it.
Isabel? No.
Oh my gosh.
Natalie.
Yes.
Natalie. Gosh, I had her name in my head like seconds before. Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Natalie Emmanuel.
Good job.
Yeah. And anyone else?
I think that's plenty.
Auntie, you mentioned Auntie. Yeah. So this movie is in the near future where democracy fell. No, that's not quite it, right? It's just like democracy changed into a Neo-Roman Empire. Sort of.
Yeah.
It's never clear quite how.
It's New Rome, but it's obviously New York.
Yeah, and it's not really clear how what the change entices, right? Because it's like
Yeah. Did the United States transform into New Rome, or was it like did the Roman Empire just never fall? And we've ended up. It's not clear. But what is clear is like this is a fable. And so, like, there's a lot of metaphor and, like, moralizing, and it's not just, like, storytelling. There's a lot of other stuff going on.
If anything,
there's so much going on.
Yeah, if anything, there's way too many metaphors. It's like metaphors on top of metaphors. Then you have a pile of metaphors. And that gets too old real quick, overcomplicated, and or a bit disconnected, but Adam Driver does what he does well. He does a terrific job. Natalie Emmanuel having this, it's still a privilege to work with the great Francis Ford Coppola. Good for her, and she held her ground. Shia LaBeouf, some people love him. I think he's overrated, but he does okay considering the circumstances. He does what you expect
Shia LaBeouf to do.
Yeah, which is
a bit of a wild card.
Yeah,
crazy.
Which makes you ask: is that acting or is that Shia LaBeouf?
It's a valid question.
Yeah. We have Aubrey Plaza there, playing this weird, sort of psychotic journalist.
Yeah.
We have. John Voight playing a big company man, a big entrepreneur, right? And John Esposito playing the government. playing the what's it called? Mayor? Is it Mayor?
Yeah, he's the mayor.
He's the mayor.
Yep.
All that together in this futuristic scenario in sort of black and white sepia, more like yellowish than sepia.
There's a very retro futuristic vibe because there is like technology that we don't necessarily have right now, but all within like a very roaring 20s going into the 30s type aesthetic. But also a neo-Roman thing. Like we said, there's just so much, and Megalopolis is a really good name for it, just because everything is just so mega, just layers upon layers of stuff, and like there's like these intro titles, kind of like breaking up the chapters of the film, and it looks like it's very old timey, where you've got like marble with like pillars on the side, and engraved in the marble is some moral or piece of wisdom or statement about like the fall of republics or the hubris of man and things like that. And then suddenly you're into this like horrifyingly explicit sex scene between Aubrey Plaza and somebody. What does it have to do with anything? Why have we been forced to watch that?
You spoiled half of it, so
yeah. Just be warned. There's
But yeah, you were talking about the retro thing. I don't know if you could notice, but the photography and even the camera angles, they do look like an old movie. It's like it's an interesting because it looks like a really old movie. It's on that aspect.
Like if Citizen Kane had color film. Maybe not that old. No.
Citizen Kane is a very high reference.
That's okay.
I won't go that far, but
Maltese
definitely.
Falcon?
But definitely a old movie around that time or past that. But it's like it feels like it's an old movie, and I'm not just saying because of the shot on film or not. It's like maybe that helps too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But
no, camera angles, dialogue, style of delivery, everything is very
and magic.
Old timey.
There's some weird stuff, magical stuff that's still the whole and that's on the trailer. The whole like he stops time. There's no science behind it, right? Or is there the megalone?
Yeah, I don't think it was the megalon.
Yeah.
I think that was part of the fable, and frankly, I couldn't figure it out. In my defense, I was quite tired, and I did sleep through significant chunks of it. But I'm not that upset that I did. I love Godfather so much, but this one was, I think, he needed an editor.
Oh, you're gonna release a Redux version longer? That's what you're saying he needs?
No, he needed an editor to help him like cut away some layers, because like.
I don't know.
I get that it's not meant to be just like a beginning, middle, end story. I get that it was fable, but like there's just so much, and I've seen other reviews from people who loved it and people who hated it, and everybody agrees there's just so much.
Yeah.
And I think it really could have benefited from significant editing.
Yeah, they should cut Adam Driver and Natalie Emmanuel and have more Aubrey Plaza and Shia LaBeouf.
Absolutely not. I think you could get rid of those characters. Honestly, parts of it reminded me quite a bit of Atlas Shrugged. And that book comes without certain Aubrey Plaza scenes. So
Atlas Shrugged is going to be remade, right? Who's making it?
I don't know.
Is it Wire? No. Netflix?
It's a really ambitious project.
Someone is making it. I can't remember who is it, but
I've never seen any of the movies, but I've read the book, and nothing about the book says this must be a film.
Yeah, it's tough, like the Foundation. It was called.
Oh, sure.
Unadaptable forever.
Yeah,
and
because it's just so massive.
Yeah, good or bad is they making it. I'm not saying is appropriate, but they try, and again they will not. Nothing will stop them from trying to do Atlas Shrugged again. Well, anyways, Megalopolis is available in theaters everywhere.
You're gonna need caffeine.
Or
I recommend some M&Ms.
Wow.
Something to keep you going, because
You should
so
check
much.
if you're a Coppola fan or any of these people's fan. You should check,
Mm-hmm.
but be aware it's a thing.
They
Yeah.
did a job.
Yeah, they definitely did a job.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all we saw. I mean, we did see the Penguin first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And the first one performed really well. With 5.3 million views in the first 4 days. It's good. It's following what established on the first movie on the Batman, directed by
Matt Reeves
with the vampire boy. What's his name? Pattinson. Colin Farrell comes back in the role of the Penguin, and is like a gangster, a crime story by HBO that does that very well. And let's see what happens. Even with only 1 episode out, the minds of HBO and DC and Matt Reeves are already thinking maybe we should make an Arkham show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that it's not certain yet.
But so I would say so far so good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would.
Also this week we had FanX.
Yes.
The Salt Lake City comic convention, pop culture convention and fan event.
Yes.
That is huge and every year grows bigger. We went there. We see amazing cosplays. You can check our album. If you photograph that, feel free to tag yourself to share. We seen some panels.
Yep.
Interesting panels. I personally like the one we saw with Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
The guy's funny. And,
oh my gosh.
And did the voice of Gronk. Did the Take. He was on Seinfeld.
That one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he was very honest about some things. He says like someone after asking a question, he walk away. It's like, yeah, I just came to make sure you're a real person. And it's like, yeah, I'm a real person. I have four kids, 4 dogs, and a mean wife. You know, I'm just like you guys. And other things we learned from him was like he got someone asked what role he would like to be, and he said he was always blessed. He didn't say the word friends, but for the connections he had, like he was on Seinfeld, that later became an opportunity on the movie, right?
That's right.
From Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
He worked with Barry Sonnenfeld. I can't remember on what, but then he was called to be on Lemony Snicket's. Is that what I say? Lemony Snicket's.
Yeah.
Snicket. Lemony Snicket.
Yeah.
To be on that, and talking to the fellow actors and actresses that were there asking questions, he said there was like, I hate doing auditions. I don't think I do very well on auditions, but I got great opportunities from these connections, right?
Yeah.
Because he said if I would audition for Lemony Snicket, I would probably never get the role, but he got and he did it well. So it was an interesting aspect of his career that we learned from that. What else? Who else did you see that you?
Well, for real, that theme of connections that's a common theme that runs through a lot of these panels of people. They make friends who believe in them, mentors, and then who help them get into their roles. I think another highlight was the voice actors panels. Always so fun, so entertaining. Jess Harnell comes every year. Like, they don't even have to announce him. He's just gonna be there.
He's the mayor of FanX.
He is the mayor of FanX. And has done tons of voices. But this time he was joined by Carrie Payton and Fred Tatasciore and Phil Lamar, and then a couple other people who are newer on the scene, but will, for what we saw, I think will be holding their own. But these legends of voice acting, these are the people, like, if you look up, if you go to the IMDb page for any like major animated feature, like any of the DC animations or like anything, you're gonna see one, if not all of them. And so anyway,
from animations, from video games,
so that was really fun, and I always love hearing how they, because with voice acting, there's a lot that goes into like developing it's just a really interesting creative process, and I love hearing them talk about it. We brought our 8-year-old daughter because FanX fell on her birthday. She got to see the High School Musical panel, and this is a fun one because High School Musical was filmed here in Salt Lake City, and so it's close to home, and that just blew her mind to see all this come alive in front of her, and it's just a reminder of what's really. So what's just really fun about this is like getting like some of these like childhood stories and these imagination moments and bringing it to life a little bit, and it was very fun.
Yeah, Lou Diamond Phillips was there, and he was expressing his appreciation for portraying so many Latino characters, even though he's not Latino at all. He's Filipino. But to the record that he came, one of the fans asked him, it was a little girl, asked him to sing La Bamba with him. Yeah. And they did sing La Bamba together. From the Star Trek panel, we did take a picture.
The Star Trek panel was so good. This is my favorite Star Trek panel so far.
Yeah, the one thing that I thought was new for me, it was like the connection between LeVar Burton, is that his name, right? And Uncle George. No, Uncle George. Fred Rogers.
Yes.
And he was his mentor, and he did a similar job, right? LeVar does the Rainbow, what's it called?
Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow. So he learned from the master, and he mentioned that connection.
Yeah, they were on PBS at the same time.
The guy was a saint, and I thought it was very interesting. I didn't know the connection.
I didn't know either, although once he said it, I was like, oh, duh, of course. Yeah. But also another connection I didn't know about was LeVar Burton had at one point studied for like the ministry and for priesthood, and that Fred Rogers had also done that.
You mentioned that.
And so they both approached children's television very much with that mentality that this was like a ministry, a mission, a calling.
God's work,
Yeah, they needed to. So for LeVar Burton, it was literature, exposing children to literature and fostering a deep love of books in them. And for Fred Rogers, it was basically carrying the mental health of my entire generation on his shoulders. And anyway, that was lovely. And so the Star Trek panel this time was LeVar Burton, Jonathan Frakes, and Will Wheaton. And it was a blast. They had so many good stories. They get along really well. They balance things out, and they're just like really interesting people. Yeah. Anyway,
of course, fans ask about Prodigy, and he couldn't answer because he doesn't know or he can't tell. But he said he would love to see if he's on it or not. He would love to see a third season, and let's hope more people do it too. So we might have a third season on Netflix because the show was already saved from Paramount. From Nickelodeon, and
frankly, Netflix like knocked it out of the park.
It was better. Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah,
this past season, even our daughter, who's like, oh, I don't like Star Trek, ended up super invested in it.
Yeah, no, it was really well done. They had things for kids, but they also had for old Star Trek fans.
Yeah, they nailed it. And something I didn't know that Will Wheaton, when they decided to bring Wesley into Prodigy, they let him write a lot of it. He's actually written a lot of like Wesley fanfic, for lack of a better word. And so they used a lot of his ideas and his input and his storylines and everything in that. So he was very involved in that whole thing, and there's plenty more where that came from.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other in the panel you heard anything you saw that?
I mean, there's always the greatest hits. We had the Hobbits with John Rhys Davies this time, and they are delightful and beloved everywhere they go. Fantastic cosplays.
Yeah, there's some really good cosplays, from high professionals to fan made.
Yeah.
That was like, did you see that wolf, the robot?
Yeah, what was that?
That was like cool, right?
That was so cool. And there was a guy with a really intense alien cosplay. Oh dang it.
People running on stilts.
Yes. No, but this alien one, like he even had like the xenomorph, yeah. The xenomorph, like the second one would come out of his mouth and like all the liquid, and then he
liquid too.
Yeah, it was just like drool everywhere, which was just like, oh cool. So chilling. And then he had a friend behind him with a mop. cleaning everything up. Like it was. So there's people who go like the full 9 yards with just the realism of it. There's people who do very funny and witty things. I just love it. Just being around like all that creativity and celebration. It's very fun.
The con was huge. It's big. It seems to be bigger every year.
Yeah.
A lot of first timers, including Kelsey Grammer and Mel Gibson. That was his first con ever. Yeah. Anyways, if you want to check our albums on Facebook, we have tons of cosplay pictures. We thank FanX to allow us to always go there and share this moments with fans and with the guests.
Yeah. Start saving for next September.
Yeah, September 20. I'm not gonna say the date because I don't remember my mind. But it's on FanX. Our website is already posted. Yeah. If you want to reserve your tickets.
Okay. NATO, as in the National Association of Theater Owners, recently announced $2.2 billion.
Wait, Germany or England?
No, NATO. Like anyway.
The theater owners.
The theater owners of America. They recently announced they're going to spend $2.2 billion on like theaters, investing in theaters. And then they announced that investment was going to come in the form of pickleball courts, bowling alleys, and more.
So there's like some sort of revival of malls attached to theaters, which I don't know.
We'll see. It's not what I was expecting. I was expecting like nice chairs, bigger screens,
6K,
sound
8K,
systems, yeah,
bigger screens,
bougie projectors,
AC, because some movie theaters with the AC seems to not work when they need to work. Or even better technology of sound, 3D without glasses that James Cameron promises forever. Well, anyways.
Anywho, also DirecTV is going to be buying Dish Network, whatever. Anyway, assuming $9.7 billion of, so that's happening.
So sort of a merge coming there. Monopoly, the industry moves, but in the end they get themselves together.
They do. The Watch Dogs movie finished filming.
The game was exciting. The first one, the second one not so much, but the first one had a really cool concept of a really interesting hackers type of movie, and also like noir elements, and it was fun. I really liked it. And they shot a movie, and let's see if they get something of it, because they've been video game movies. I mean, like any other adaptation, is hit or miss.
Yeah, I feel like they've been pretty extreme hits and misses, though.
Yeah.
Like people that love them or hate them.
Yeah. So let's see how well they do.
Yeah. There's also a Devil May Cry animated series coming to Netflix next April.
Another video game adaptation. Let's see. It's Netflix. They're probably gonna flip some characters. Man into woman, white into black, black into alien. Who knows? But we'll see. Yeah.
Okay, the Thunderbolts poster was released, and it just looked kind of funky.
There's like how AI has some. There's a word for, I can't remember, for the glitch. There's a specific name for that. I can't remember. I'll not be able to remember. But there's a glitch that when creating human hands, it does like Uncle Jack on its son. It messes up. Yeah. But the way it messes up is never do 4 or 5 fingers. Sometimes it does 6. And the post has something that looks like 6 fingers.
Yeah,
causing a commotion among fans and internet enthusiasts. I was like, what the heck? He's using AI.
Like, why did we endure that massive SAG-AFTRA strike?
They do use AI for if not for a lot, if not for everything, for a lot, right? The problem is, don't let the AI do everything, right? Do it properly, do it well. Yeah. So the AI is a tool for your art, not the creator of your art.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Ubisoft. Oh, no. The Daisy Ridley Star Wars movie is rumored to be on hold.
Yeah, there's rumors that they're gonna have to rework the script and work again and again to make it work. Yeah. So
I hope they take their time with it.
And this is through that crisis of creativity. So yeah. Another one from the house, the Mouse House, is that they finally found another director for Blade.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh.
But it sounds like the movie will be about Blade hunting vampires.
Ryan Reynolds gave us better Blade story in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, we'll see.
All
or
right.
not. If we don't see it, I'm not gonna be mad about it.
Yeah, that's okay. Ubisoft has officially admitted that Star Wars Outlaws underperformed.
No surprise, the game is from the wave of games that is influenced by social politics of the day. Sweet Baby Inc. Pushing for extreme agendas on the games and affecting the story. Misusing or using really badly characters that are beloved characters in franchises. So, and that's like simple things. It's like there's this thing happening, and it's happening quite often. That is not technical issues. It feels like they're doing it on purpose. Like beautiful woman on games, they making the actress that voices this one specifically is a beautiful woman with a beautiful face. They made her face ugly. And it's like it happens so many times that people are noticing. It's like this is not a mistake. They're doing it on purpose, and I don't know what part of the agenda requires to women to not be beautiful, but that's
and I feel like
really pissing gamers off because it's like, come on, PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 1, with the graphics we had, they still did a terrific job. And instead of improving now, is anyways.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, and I don't think that's a change that anybody was asking for. I think because as a woman who occasionally plays video games, yeah, a lot of these graphics are really, really annoying. But it's not like, oh no, this woman is too beautiful. It's more like, could she please just have like clothing that makes sense or armor that covers? Like that's what we were rooting for.
And also from Ubisoft, I didn't put it there, but Ubisoft. After the whole controversy of the so-called or wrongly called Black Samurai, I can't remember his name now. Anyways, they backing up on the release of the game. The game was supposed to be released in November, December, and they're pushing for next year. There's rumors that the outcry from the fans, from Japanese culture, from Japanese specialists, might mean that they're gonna. Yasuki, I think it's Yasuki. It means they might like scratch him from the game, or his participation be minor, or he's fixing the whole storyline that technically he was not a samurai, but
like he was a real guy.
He was a real guy, a
real person from Mozambique, I want to say.
Something like that.
Real person.
Portuguese, yeah.
Lived in Japan, had a Japanese family.
He
the whole 9 years, wore the armor, was a mighty warrior, all this good stuff.
Shieldsman, or he was really close to it. But there's the problem that they misusing that or using completely incorrectly. But also the fact that for always Assassin's Creed fans been waiting for Assassin's Creed in Japan. But Sweet Baby Inc. and the so-called social just warriors, activists that are infecting the industry, picked up Black, and they said before they don't care if it's historically accurate. That's not the goal. They will do that.
Yeah.
And so instead of sticking to it's like Shogun, right?
Yeah.
No, they push for the agenda. They put that it's falling out now. They said they will not release the game now. They're gonna have to do some work on it, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this might not work out so well for them though, because Ghost of Tsushima has announced a sequel called Ghost of Yotei, and it's announced for 2025.
That's already surrounded by controversy because there's already aspects of the game that are connected to Sweet Baby Inc. And there's like, we'll see.
But the first one was pretty solid, right?
The first one was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I haven't heard anybody ever complain about it. That's just like beautiful and compelling. And
yeah, this one is pretty early to tell. The main character on this one is a woman. I don't know more details on that, but I don't know if that's possible or not. Historically, talking about, because the other game was very, very close to history. There was not a lot of fantasy. It was like you were a samurai, you went to war with your clan, and they beat the crap out of you, and now you're gonna try to recover things as a ghost, and then you choose if you're gonna go Ronin, or if you're gonna join the clan and all that. So it stuck to reality in a very decent way.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was a one, maybe it was, but that's too early to say. But the way the industry is going right now, it's most likely it's gonna be infected. If not, we would be glad we'd buy games that go completely out of this new norm they're establishing, like this monkey. I can't remember Black Monkey. I can't remember the specific name of this game.
That's not a good name.
The character is sort of a monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fans are loving it because the playability is awesome. The story is decent. The so-called game press industry is bashing the games. It's like, this game is awful. There's no representativity, and it's a fantasy game.
Okay. I will die on this hill. Nobody gives a crap about how diverse the characters are or anything else if the storytelling is good. If you lead with a compelling story and good gameplay or quality filmmaking or whatever, like, nobody cares if there's like women or men or gays or blacks or whatever. You can have as diverse as you want. When you lead with diversity and that's your only selling point, and you don't have a good story to back it up, that's what makes people upset. It's not that we're a bunch of like racists and bigots. It's just that we want good stories.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The leaders,
all I want.
The leaders of the industry hire people that they said it again and again. It's like, we don't care if it's accurate. We don't care if it's fun. We're gonna use this to preach this agenda, and that's what you're not being used to. And of course, people are not being used to. They work in this system with their wallets, meaning we're not gonna buy, and they're losing money. And let's hope they lose money until they fix it. But yeah.
In the meantime, if you're wanting to play any of these games on a 30th anniversary PS5 Pro bundle, you're going to have to get it from a scalper for a whopping $5,000.
Yeah, they're already getting this new. They will be more expensive, but the special editions are already up to 5,000. When I saw the news, it might be up higher now.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at DC, and we'll try to wrap this up pretty quick. Matt Reeves, so we already mentioned that they're maybe thinking about the success of Penguin is leading them to think about maybe an Arkham Asylum series. And Matt Reeves has said, the things we're talking about now are evolved versions of those things. It's not like that just didn't work. It was like, we need to evolve this. I would describe it less as something that didn't work out and more something that is still along a path toward arriving at its destination. That is so many words to say. We're still working on this idea and haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, James Gunn is bragging by things that he shouldn't. Like we mentioned, Super/Man, the star Christopher Reeve. He was also saying that he might try to grab Pattinson to his DCU. But the whole thing with Pattinson from Matt Reeves was like, is disconnected. Is a black label, is a one shot like they did with the Joker. But because the guy is a one trick pony, might not be able to do a decent job. So he's trying to stick to what is working, because what didn't work and he was involved. No, I didn't do it.
Yeah, how many times were they like, this is the first product of the new DC era, and then backtracked it?
No, I didn't say that.
No, that wasn't it. That was terrible.
Not what I meant.
The next one, that's a big. Anywho, speaking of future DC projects, Kyle Chandler is our new Hal Jordan.
Yes, he's gonna be on an HBO show with Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart character. No movies announced or connected to the news yet.
I'm really rooting for this. I've been wanting Green Lantern content for a long time, and I hope this works. Jared Harris, the son of Richard Harris, who was the greatest on-screen Dumbledore we had, says that not only does he want the role of Dumbledore in the new HBO series, he's not really a fan of the idea of remaking it all. He feels like the movies were great the first time. Why are we remaking it?
And he's right. It's a money grab. It's way too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it another 20 years.
If anything, they should make the timeline to make a new one would be when the main characters have kids on the age of the characters to play the characters. I'm not saying it should be their kids.
No.
But a good measurement would be when they have kids with the appropriate age to play the role. And it's way too soon. But they said they're gonna do a great job. They're gonna be diverse, inclusive. It's gonna be. Anyways,
we'll see. All right, let's look at some crazy science, and then we'll wrap things up. Apparently, scientists have used food dye that's used in Doritos to create see-through mice.
Yeah.
So there's yellow number 5 called tartrazine. Has this interesting property that it makes cells less able to refract light. And so when scientists rubbed this tartrazine solution onto a mouse's skin, they were able to see straight through it and see muscles and veins and organs at work in real time.
That's so bizarre.
Who figured this out is what I want to know. It's just, man.
I mean, Doritos, likes Doritos, right? Stoners is like, hey, dude, let's try this on this mouse.
Anyway, so there's that. Haley's Comet is coming by, and we've already got meteor showers being triggered by that. So that's fun and cool. And then the James Webb telescope keeps delivering amazing imagery. It's captured a bridge connecting 2 galaxies. And what's really happening is these galaxies are colliding and creating, and this collision of all this matter in space is, there's a bridge, but it's also
the Asgardian bridge that connects Midgard and Asgard.
Yes, but what you call magic, they call science. Or what we call science, they call magic.
Well, what was Asimov said that advanced technology, advanced science is so indistinctive from magic. Anyways.
Either way, these galaxies are colliding, which is creating this whole hotbed of new star creation, and it's just very cool and exciting to see.
Cool.
So look at that. The images are very cool.
Yeah. So fall season start. There's a lot to watch. We're gonna come back next week with all the new things we watched and the old things we watched too. Well, for this week, that's it. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.